Hi guys, welcome to another chit chat. Today's topic will be about how to not give a fudge about friendships. And what I mean by that is to not place so much emphasis on friendships that make you feel unseen. You may feel unseen in instances where your friends didn't invite you somewhere, they made you feel excluded and you just feel really left out. Or maybe you feel like a low priority to them where they don't seem very interested in your life or ask how you're doing or check up on you. They're not making the time to talk to you or see you in person. Another instance could be that you have so many friends, you have so many people that you know, but you still feel so lonely inside and feel like you have no friends. If you relate to all of the above or even just one, it could be an indicator that you need to foster deeper and more intimate connections. And you may feel lonely and unseen because of this. There's a quote by Robin Williams and he said, "I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone." I came across this TED Talk called Frientimacy. She talked about how we feel lonely because we're not making more intimate connections within our friendships. And I feel like we live in a world where it promotes like hanging out with more friends, you need to get out there, party, just know a lot of people to have fun. But even if you have just one or two friends, and you have a very meaningful relationship, that is already fulfilling in itself, rather than going out, meeting more people and growing your network and having more superficial relationships with people. And I'm sure that could be fun, but that doesn't truly fill our void. I've certainly done this before. I finished university, I was working downtown. I was like, this is the time to make more friends, and I did that. I messaged a few people who were working downtown from when I studied with them in university. I went out for dinner a lot, lunch with people, caught up with old-time friends. I was always so focused on I have to be doing something after work, or I'm a boring person, or I'm a loser. I can't just go home and watch Netflix and then go to sleep and then go to work again in the morning. As I'm getting older, and I think the pandemic made me realize making meaningful relationships is really important and it fills that void within you. In the TED Talk, she also talked about 3 things that make a meaningful relationship, which is positivity, consistency, and vulnerability. I know for me with positivity, I wasn't always the most positive person. I'm still not the most positive person, but I've gotten better where I'm not complaining about life as much anymore or looking on the very negative side. In the past, when I was making friendships, it would be a lot about me complaining about my life and my problems and seeking advice from other friends, and other friends would also seek advice with their problems and issues, and we would kind of connect on that level. There was positivity within it where we would encourage each other, we would laugh and go hang out and do fun things. But I feel like for me, most of my friendships, on my side at least, I was very negative and I complained a lot and just saw the negative side of life. I am learning to base my friendships on more positivity and just really focus on the good things in life and laugh about it, not take things so seriously or personally, be more lighthearted. It is tough though, because sometimes life really pushes you down. It's good to be vulnerable and open up to people, but to just not base it on negativity. And that's something I'm still working on. I really recommend watching the TED Talk. I will link it down below in the description. It'll help you understand more about the 3 main things: positivity, consistency, and vulnerability. She really elaborates on them and helps you understand what a healthy friendship is. So just going back to what I was saying about instances where you feel lonely in friendships. Friendships are a two-way street. Friendships consist of 2 or more people, and if you don't feel accepted or seen by the other person, you also have to reflect and think, are you making the other person feel seen and accepted and feel like they're in a safe environment? I've learned that it's not just about me, it's not just about our selfish ways. We also have to think about the other person, and are we treating them the way that they want to be treated? Are we respecting and making them feel seen? I can give you guys an example. So a few years ago, I had a falling out with one of my best friends, but now we're closer than ever. During the fight, I was really focusing on my selfish ways, and I was like, oh, she did this to me, I'm so hurt, I can't believe this. I realized that I was focusing on myself more than serving her and thinking about what I need to do to make her feel seen and loved and respected. But now we're good, we respect each other, we realize what we need from each other, and I realize how I need to communicate with her and how I can make her feel loved. So yeah, it's about communication, but also about reflecting and realizing your part in the fight or argument or disagreement, and not just making it about yourself. It's getting darker, but hopefully I can finish this video before it gets really dark. The next thing I'm going to talk about is seasons of friendships. We all have friends that we thought were going to be close to us forever and you're going to be like this, but sometimes that's not the case. Friends that were close to you might not be as close to you anymore, or they were friends that weren't even close to you and you just kind of knew of them. But in this particular season, you might be really good friends. For me, my roommate and I were really close in university, but I graduated before her and we just became kind of distant, and she was in a relationship, I wasn't. Now, since we're done university, she lives closer to me now, we're a lot closer and we're in the same life stage of just kind of figuring out our 20s and working and being both in relationships. Also, just distance plays a huge part as well. I could just drive like 30 minutes and I could see her. We just talk every day now and it's really nice. I just want to reassure anyone out there who's feeling like, oh, this friend I thought was really close to me isn't anymore and I'm scared she's never going to be my friend again, or I'm scared that it's never going to be the same again. There are seasons and you just kind of have to go with the flow. Eventually, you guys may become close again. Maybe not the same, but you guys will still be in each other's lives, because if you value that person and if the other person values you, then you guys will definitely still be friends. I hope that makes sense. I wish someone had told me this back then so I wouldn't feel so sad about some friends where I feel distant to now. Also, just one more point about seasons of friendships. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. If God wants that friend in your life, or if he wants you to be in that friend's life, it'll happen. You can't force your way into friendships, is what I've learned. Even if you do value each other, it might not be the right time to be close friends or even just friends in general. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is knowing your self-worth and confidence. It's so important to know your confidence in a friendship and know your self-worth. You don't have to change for anyone else. You don't have to become someone else. I used to think I wasn't pretty enough, wasn't fun, wasn't funny. I thought I was boring to be around, so I thought I needed to change myself and be more extroverted, more loud, dress a certain way, put more makeup on. But you shouldn't do that. Just know your self-worth. Know that you will attract people who love you for you. That's what you need to focus on. Just really be yourself. Know that people will love you the way you are, and know that when you're confident in yourself and you know who you are, you will attract people who are similar to you. You don't need to change who you are, how you look, or how you act. Another point I just wanted to touch base on was time and effort. I know in society, being busy is kind of the norm, and we should all be like busy, running around, always be doing stuff. Even if we're living a really busy life, that doesn't mean you shouldn't put time and effort into your friendships, especially if they're very important to you. If some friends aren't putting in the time and effort to talk to you, to schedule hangouts, then, or vice versa, if you're not doing it, then ultimately you will grow distant from each other. It's important to schedule hangouts with your friends, make time to talk to them, because if you value that friend, then you want to be a part of their life. If you want to make good friendships, you have to be consistent. You need to put that time and effort in to show that you care about your friend or your friend cares about you. You want to have friends that want to talk to you and want to make time for you, because then it'll just be a one-sided friendship. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is tiers of friendships. I'm not going to go too much in detail. I just know in general that there are 3 tiers. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 3rd tier are casual friends, where you would only see once in a while, you would catch up, but you wouldn't open up to them. The 2nd tier are your inner circle friends. These are the friends that you hang out with the most and you see them more often, and you would definitely invite them to your wedding or your birthday parties. And then the 1st tier are your closest friends. You've opened up to them before, they've opened up to you, you're vulnerable with them, and they just know you. They just understand you, and they know how you act, what you need. They just love you for who you are. You don't need to impress them. I'm lucky enough to have 2 really close friends. You don't need like 10 or 20 to have fulfilling friendships. You're lucky to even have 5 top tier friends. Just to conclude this chit chat, know who you are, know your self-worth and confidence. You don't need to change for anyone. Both parties in a friendship need to make each other feel safe and accepted and seen. It's not just one-sided, and you're gonna be okay. It's hard making friends. It's hard being consistent and keeping up with friendships. Remember to value your friends. And also just know who are your true friends. You don't need a gajillion friends to have happy and joyful relationships. It's getting really dark, so I'm gonna end this video here. I hope this helped you guys, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another chit chat or another vlog. Bye guys!